Hi everyone, Tevan here at Tevans Haven. So it's a beautiful day outside. A little bit windy, but still a great weather outside. The birds chirping, and I'm so thankful for my new microphone. Even though it's windy, I'm sure the sound is great. So thank you, little sis. So today's video, I'm going to talk about how to choose your university. Now that everybody's finished with their finals and graduation exams, I'm sure you are all preparing for the SATs or the college entrance exams. But you still gotta choose your university. So I'm going to share the 8 things that I think people should think and consider when they're choosing their university. These are the things that helped me choose my university, and this is how I chose my university. So first and foremost, I'm sure you have already decided your major or what profession or in what area that you want to work in. And make sure, number one, is that the university that you're choosing is actually going to be a great, like at least in the top tier of that industry, like profession, whether it's in that country or in that state. So if you're new here, my name is Tevan. I'm a mom, stay-at-home wife, currently uploading videos on YouTube to help you who want to succeed in life, sharing my tips and personal experiences, how I studied in the US, how I got my scholarship, and how I'm a successful and a happy person as of now. So I hope that whatever I'm giving you is giving you some ideas to help you succeed in life. So the university I chose, well, I wanted to study business, so the university I chose was actually the top third college who in that Eastern Oregon University was the third best school in the Pacific Northwest in the business school area. So yay, so go EOU. So whatever profession you're choosing, make sure that that university is ranking at least in the top 20, top 10, whatever. There are lists on the internet like that compares the universities according to not just like by industry, and because the top 100 universities of the world or top 100 universities of UK, or those rankings are like including a lot of things, but in your chosen profession, like they gotta rank high. Like if you're going to study medical, like I don't know, to be a doctor, then you shouldn't go to like some school that is ranking higher in other professions, but in your chosen profession it's not really ranking that high. So thing to think about. So whether you're going to study abroad or in Mongolia or in the US, in my case I chose to study in the US, and so I narrowed my university search only in the US. So the second thing to look for is the mission statement and how the teaching style of the university, because one of the things me studying abroad, I noticed that there are different styles of teachings, and I enjoy a more student participation, a student-centered learning experience. So, and that is one of the reasons why I kind of mainly wanted to study in the US versus Europe or some other Asian countries that are, kind of like they're my biased opinion may be that you have to really study hard, cram, like just study, and not really. I like interactive studying. So now that in the modern day, a lot of universities have taken on that interactive studying, and hands-on approach or peer learning and different styles and methods, but you want to make sure that university that you're choosing are, is embracing the type of studies that you want to study in. Because I'm not sure, like, what kind of studying styles do you enjoy? Are you more collaborative learner, or like independent learner? Yeah, you gotta find out. And some schools, their mission statements, their values are a little bit different. The way they describe themselves, I think they're putting their best foot forward on their website, so that's the best of them. So thirdly, look for other peer reviews of the university, like the actual students who studied there. You can Google it, Facebook search it. There are third-party search engine databases with, like I saw in the UK, they have like a whole website with students ranking their universities. So the first ranking was, in the profession. The second, when you're looking at their studying tips, studying styles, and their mission statement and values, that's what the university is saying who they are. But thirdly, I think the student reviews and the feedback and the comments about the school, I think will give you an insight of the culture inside the university. So fourth thing, I think for me, I wanted to study in like latitude 45 46 area around the world. So for me, main reason is weather. I like all the 4 seasons, and I don't like it when it's extremely hot or extremely cold. But I still enjoy all my 4 seasons because I'm from Mongolia. It also, I thought to myself, like, having similar landscape or similar weather would help me embrace the environment and not get homesick as much. So let me know what your thinking is. Comment down below. If you're new here and you haven't yet subscribe to my channel now, and be sure to like this video if you're finding my tips useful. And there are 4 more tips to go. So weather, like in Alabama, I heard that, I was reading like that the weather is quite hot and humid, and I don't think I can deal with that. I think it's the same with Australia, Florida, and those kind of southern states. I think it'll be easy just to visit, like on a trip, but I don't necessarily want to live there. I think it's also the case for Alaska, like, or Greenland, like up north. There are certain countries, like or towns, the weather varies a lot. In Mongolia, they joke that, like, in spring, you can actually see all the 4 seasons in one day. So anyways, the 5th thing for me is the size of the town that the university is located. It kind of goes in hand with the university location, because if you're going to be living there for a long time, but you enjoy city life, like, you might not be as excited to be living in a small town, a college town. So like in Mongolia, like some people are like live from the mountainous region. When they go up down south, like to the desert area, I don't know if they're going to be adaptive. I'm not sure. But in UB, it's the concrete jungle, so everybody, it's the city life. But when you're studying abroad, this is like a thing to consider, because, like, if you're from a small town, suddenly you're in a huge city, like a big city with tens and millions of people, like, you know. Um, Also, it kind of goes, the location of the city also determines the price, the living cost. Certain cities are notorious for, having extreme amount of like cost of living, things like that. So, this is also goes hand in hand with tuition and fees and costs. So you have to look at like what the school cost is, like, compared to the school size and the prestige of the school, the ranking of the school. Is it, fair? Certain schools like costs hundreds and thousands of dollars, but then in some schools in Europe, like Germany and Sweden, they normally just take in fees, no tuition, and that's like 200 euros a semester or something like that. That's what I heard. Let me know, comment down below if you've heard people, how much do they actually spend in Europe. Like if I were to say like 200 euros per semester, maybe that's over the lifespan of the university life, it could, for 4 years and 4 semesters, or 4 years and 3 semesters or something like that, it's like 2-3 thousand euros, is it? I'm not calculating it accurately, but anyways, of course there's going to be living fees, room and board, food, those kind of things you want to make sure and investigate, and don't focus on the university too much. Like for example, if you're expecting to go to a university and pay for your tuition yourself by working, if you don't have scholarship, and working part-time jobs is your only means to support yourself, then you have to make sure that in that city that you're going to be able to find jobs. In small cities, the labor market might be crunched and you might not be able to work, or you might not be able to find work under the table or things like of that nature. But in larger cities, you may be able to find lots of part-time job opportunities, but at the same time it could be competitive as far as scholarship. So I think the sixth thing is, look at the scholarship. What is the university offering as far as scholarship? Are they like accepting third-party organization scholarships, or how much do they provide, like as far as funding goes? Is it competitive? Like for, I guess, also the size of the university could come in play. Like, I guess this is the seventh thing also. The seventh thing is the size of the university, because if it's a small school with, a good number of teachers, you will be able to interact with your teacher. And for me, I was going to be an international student, so I wanted to study in a small university, so I will be able to knock on my professor's door and get the clarification, understanding that I can get if I'm struggling with certain course. But if it's in a large university, you're not going to be able to find your professor or be able to get their help and support. There were 2 universities that I got accepted. One was a smaller school, and then the other was University of Wisconsin-Madison, and I think they had like 30,000 students, and to me, like, that is too much people, and the cost was actually also expensive. For me, I chose Eastern because it's a smaller school, and I will be able to, I knew that I could get the scholarships that I wanted if there's less competition. My university was 3,000 students on campus versus 30,000 students for UWM. I mean, come on, do the math, right? So, and plus the cost was, vice versa. So, anyways, the seventh thing, I guess, is the school size. But the last thing I also want you guys to think about online learning, and think like research online school distance learning possibilities. And there are also schools that you can get courses online for free through Coursera or through edX or Hung Academy. You can learn anything you want through the internet. You don't necessarily have to go study abroad. There are schools in Mongolia that does like student exchange programs, like 2 years on campus, 2 years abroad, and there's I think 3-in-1 program also. Look for all your options. And another thing is, I guess, in choosing your university, each and every single university application will have some fees. And for me, I think it was like $50 on average per school. Certain like larger schools, because they're accepting a lot of paperwork, I'm guessing the price is a bit higher. I think like up to $100 or something. But certain schools, universities, they waive the fee, on certain conditions and things like that. So let me know, how you do with your college search. I hope you find the perfect college you're looking for. But consider everything. Don't just focus on the academic parts. Don't just focus on what you have to prepare, but you have to also understand that you're choosing that university. So they're also trying to get you. So you're on the, it's like a give and take. You're giving your time to the university, so you might as well spend it at a valuable place, because it will be the starting point for your career. Anyways, I hope my tips were helpful. If you have any questions, comment down below and let me know what videos you want me to make. And you can follow me on Instagram. It's Tevans Haven in English, and I also have my podcasts on SoundCloud, so be sure to check them out if you want to listen to them on the go. And until next time, share love and kindness. Bye.